What's this? I heard you wanted me to recommend more books to you, like I did less than a minute ago when I recorded my last video? Well, sure! Nobody asked for this, but I'm going to do it anyway, because if I don't get this out of the way, I will be talking about all of this author's books for the rest of my life. Probably. So, I have in passing mentioned John Green in one of my videos about his channel on YouTube, which is really good and you should go watch it. Did you know that he writes books? 'Cause he writes books really well. And, he's written several. And so far they have not disappointed me in any way, shape, or form. At all. I mean, I once bought an anthology. Where was he? I don't know. Just because he had a story in it. I really like this author, and, honestly, once you start reading one of his books, you will not stop reading any of his books. Probably ever. I have not stopped reading them for a while. Every time I reread one of his books, I go, this is my favorite John Green book. Oh my gosh. It's so good. And then I read another one, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And I never reread books except Leviathan, which I've read 5 times. Shh. I really like that book. Yes, so, books. Here are, whoa! Sorry. The tab tabbed itself. I think I dropped a book on the mouse, I'm sorry. Alright, so here's one of the first books I read by him, and it's still one of my all-time favorites. Looking for Alaska by John Green. You may have heard of this book. It's pretty darn good. Alright, let me read the back blurb to you. Before. Miles Hudge Halter's whole existence had been one big non-event, and his obsession with famous last words has only made him crave the great perhaps. I think it's Francois can't pronounce that name. Poet. Even more. He heads off to the sometimes crazy, possibly unstable, anything but boring world of Culver Creek boarding school, and his life becomes the opposite of safe. Because down the hall is Alaska Young. The gorgeous, clever, funny, sexy, self-destructive, screwed up, and utterly fascinating Alaska Young, who is an event unto herself. She pulls Pudge into her world, launches him into the great perhaps, and steals his heart. After, nothing is ever the same. I love this book. It's got, if you are a philosophy type person, you're gonna love John Green, I swear. All of his books have this huge, deep meaning behind them, especially Looking for Alaska. It's so good. I mean, I do not say that lightly. I have not enjoyed a lot of books in my lifetime. I, in fact, did not enjoy any books at all at first, because I did not want to learn to read. I was very annoyed. People kept trying to shove books down my throat. And my mom paid me to read a whole novel, and I did, and then I didn't stop reading. Ever. My life story, everyone. Congratulations. But yeah, so, yeah, that was sort of the gateway drug for me, because it was so good. So another one of his books, An Abundance of Catherines. I like this book. You know what? I think it's one of my least favorite books of his, but it's still one of my favorite books.